Hello and welcome. I'm going to give you guys a guide on using the TIE Bomber to do some nice, simple farming on Star Haven here. The idea is we're going to be looking at farm movement and how we approach actually shooting the AI, not with our missiles particularly, but with our rotary cannon. This guy right here, pew 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 pew. So, what is the best way to approach this? And we'll look at this with both slam engine pictured here in the bottom left and with jet engine. And the differences are maybe a little bit less than you might expect. So basic idea, right? You point and shoot at the AI, but sometimes they move really fast. And so um, sometimes it can be hard to, like that pack right there, they just moved out of range. And now I can kind of shoot them and I don't have any too much trouble with it. But you can see that I ran out of energy. So there are a few things we have to worry about here. We have to worry about managing our rotary laser energy. We have to worry about staying close enough to the AI so we can actually get shots. So if we shunt to weapons and the AI gets out of our range, and we won't have any way to catch up without having to first shunt to engines first, and then oh no, look, we were too slow. The AI has already gone behind some cover, and now we're having some trouble reaching it. So what do I believe is the best way to tackle this and approach this? Well, what I think is the best option is to shunt to weapons, and you'll need a little bit of energy first for this, but you'll shunt to weapons, and let me just start with a more moderate amount of energy. Excuse me, I meant shunt to engines. You'll shunt to engines, and you'll have a little bit of rotary energy stored up. And with the slam engine, you can feather the rotary, boost drift, hold drift, and then you'll want to, and you can feather your rotary with power lasers and start shooting some AI. But you'll notice that after shooting a couple of AI, I do run out of laser energy after a moment because rotary does not recharge. So if I shoot for a second here, you can see it's recharging. And now if I shoot, every time I shoot, it stops recharging for just a couple of seconds. So what you'll want to do is you'll actually want to switch over to charging. So first we'll get back into position, start shooting some of this AI, go to half throttle and shoot, shoot, shoot. And you'll want to switch over to engines and hit balance shunt. All right, you switch to engines and hit balance shunt. This gives us maybe a little bit of overcharge, but that's not too important. What that does do is it lets you generate energy even while you're kind of spooling and spinning your rotary. So like notice here, there's plenty of AI in range. I don't really have any trouble finding them, but I do have trouble regenerating energy when my power is in if my power is in weapons here, so we can show again how quickly that kind of goes away. If my power is in weapons, I'm not generating any boost energy, and I'm spending all of my rotary energy. Now, I had a lot of extra energy there, but if I say shoot a few AI here, then my energy is going to run out relatively quickly, especially if I'm having to kill them individually on a map like Fossar, especially, which is why I chose this map. So the solution is, so here's that from the top one more time. What we do is shunt to engines. We can boost drift, look for some AI, cycle for targets. You use your radar in the bottom left there to look for some AI. Especially in big clusters is very useful. And then when you reach the AI, don't get too close. Put your power to engines and you can kind of aim and fire at them one at a time. Now, let's talk about the positioning, now that we've established the way that you should properly power manage. Let's just try not to die to this guy over here. He's very angry. So positioning-wise, what's the best way to position so that you get close enough to have a good shot at the AI? Now, I just did this kind of without thinking, as I showed you, and a lot of time you don't really have to think about it because AI are going sideways, they're not going very fast, but sometimes they are going very fast, or they're flying past you or something like that. And so in that case, what you should do is you should look, if I see a pack, let's try and find a pack over here. If I see a pack and I just boost drift and hold my drift and fly straight towards it, I'm just going to fly right past it. If I see it again, if I keep holding my drift, I'm just going to fly right past it and I'm not going to be able to shoot it at all. I'm just going to keep boosting past it, and so on and so forth. So let's find some more AI again. This phosphorus is a little bit cramped. But anyway, find some AI over here, and what you want to do is you want to try to see, like, draw a line from where it is and go so behind it. and look where behind it. So let's target this guy here. I want to go behind it. So I look behind it and then boost drift, and this gives me a perfect angle to then shoot it and keep tracking it and keep tracking it and keep tracking it. Whereas if I try to fly ahead of it, I get way too close and it increases the risk. You see right there, it just flew by me. That it's just going to fly right past me. Whereas now that I'm behind this pack, it's super easy for me to just boost gas and casually follow and shoot down these AI one at a time. So don't boost towards the AI in front of them, boost behind them. Jet engine is basically the same thing, but you have the added benefit of when you so let's just go hop in a jet engine ship here. It'll just take me just a few seconds to respawn. So when you use a jet engine ship, so now we have our jet engine equipped here, you'll be able to still shunt to engines when you need that boost energy, but whenever you reach max boost energy, just like with slam engine, you'll hit shunt balance. And what that'll do over time with jet, the advantage over jet and why I prefer jet so much is that you can shunt balance so often because you generate so much extra boost energy. And you still have and you have the advantage of also being just a little bit faster, or perhaps disadvantage occasionally if you feel it's if you prefer to go slow when you're shooting AI, you don't want to feather your throttle so much, especially like when chasing this guy right here. I have to feather my throttle quite a bit in order to chase him. But this gives me quite a lot of energy. I can kind of fire my rotary a little bit more callously if I want to, without having a problem. I just found these guys up here by looking at my radar. And obviously, you can and should intertwine these techniques with using your multi-locks and Goliaths, but this was just something I wanted to demonstrate for those lasers because I feel like it's a little bit underappreciated how important that power to engines, half throttle, and power to engines, half throttle, and balanced shunt is to farming. Thanks for watching. I hope you learned something. I'll see you next time.